In this lab by CodeWars.com, we are asked to put together a function called WeIrD CaSe, where we are introducing a string. It can be a single word or a sentence, and we will be looking at the indices of the characters and return uppercase letters for the even indexed characters and lowercase for the odd index characters. But the problem here is that if you look at this example, for example, this I on the is word, the second word, that is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the index number 5. So it should be an odd number. But since it is the first character in the word, it starts with an uppercase letter. So in this function, each word should be considered separately. Okay? This is the confusing part about this. Well, what we can do is we can start with the collab function. We can have a string, so we can call it, this is an example sentence. This is the string that I will be looking at. We will be defining this function that is here. And what I will do is I will call this function to WeIrD CaSe, and I will use string for that function, right? So if I would just print string, it will be the sentence itself, right? Now, the first thing is that we need to split this sentence into individual words, and we can have a words list or an array. We can have it a string split with empty spaces. So we have this print words. We have this array showing the words as elements of this array. So we will be looking at individual words separately. So if I start with this for loop for I in words, basically I's are now the words. So if I do print, let's call this words and put I as print here, I will be looking at each words here. So I really is the individual words inside this form. Okay. I will be processing the words, so I should have a new variable called, let's call new word, and it will be a string. So I will be working on this. So the way I can do that is I can have another for loop, let's call J, and J can be in range of the length of the word I. All right. So basically, I'm looking at the individual characters of each word. Okay, so let me do this print function, and this J really is the index of the word we are looking at. So I can just call it index of the word and print it out. All right. So here, this is the sentence, and this words is the array we are looking at. For I in words, for the first case, we are looking at the first element of the array, which is this. And then J is looking at the indices of the word. So this word has 4 characters, so the length is 4. The second word is, it has 2 characters. and has 2 characters. Example has 6 characters. I'm sorry, 7 characters, right? Starts with 0. Index numbers all the way to 6. All right. Now, the rule was such that if the index number is an odd number, we will put a lowercase letter. If the index number is an even number, then we will put a uppercase letter. Well, it is straightforward. So inside that for loop, so if j, which is the index number of the word in discussion, if the index number of that word is giving us a positive or true Boolean argument, then it will be an odd number, right? So j is the index number. If the remainder of this index number divided by 2, if it is 1, then it returns as true. So that will be the case for the odd letters. Then I would be using this new word, and I will append to that word the jth element of the word I. And that I will be using in lower cases. Right? So basically, I'm taking this jth index on the word I and changing it to a lowercase. Okay, I can print the new word, see how it goes. But before I run the command, I can put the else statement where this Boolean will be returning a false outcome. False outcome means that the remainder is 0, so it's an even number. And for the even indexed characters, we are returning uppercase values. So the jth value of the word I will have an uppercase letter. And I can print here too, just to see and run it. Okay, so so we'll look at this word this. It has 4 characters. The first character is uppercase T, second character is lowercase h, the third character is uppercase I, the fourth character is lowercase s. So we are done with this word. So once we are run with this word, let me put a print statement for on this end of the for loop and call it switching to the next word. Okay, I need to put them in quotes. And now I'm just making this print output more readable. So we are looking at individual words inside that switching mode. All right. Well, once I'm done with this word, what I should do is I should have a new list. Or I mean, it's not the only way, but I think about having a new list where I will call it as a sentence. Let's call it a sentence. And this sentence really will have all the words appended once we are done with the J loop, right? But I have to define the sentence first, so I can define it somewhere here and call it a sentence. So sentence basically is the words appended after processing. So I'm appending the new words inside an array, and I call it sentence, right? Once I have the sentence complete or prepared, I can go to this return ending here, and I can join these new words inside the sentence array. So it will become a long string. Let's run it and see how it will look like. Right. So I am, okay, so I did it right until this last part here where I don't have any gaps in between the words. So I will put space here. Now I'm addressing all the words separately and compiling them up inside, or appending them to a list, and then using this join function, making it a long string statement. So that should be the working function for the problem. So let's go here and try to get there. Okay. We don't need to print words anymore, because we just need to print the final outcome. And we have the for loop. Again, we don't need to print for that new word, and then J loop. Again, we don't need to print out anything. Okay. Okay, no need to print out these. Okay. So this sentence appending should be after the for J loop is complete, right? And this return is basically after the I loop here, and then test it out. Okay, so it works. If I attempt it for the rest of the work, yes, that model works too.